Greetings and salutations. My name is Nikki. This is Midlife Adulting. Welcome back to my channel. You may notice the elephant in the room, but if you don't, because apparently it's only really obvious to me, I'm going to point it out, and that is this giant softball I got going on over here. The deal is, on Wednesday, my tooth started to hurt. And there's been a chunk of something missing from that tooth, whether it's tooth or filling, for about 6 months. But I've just been chewing on this side. You can really tell because my fillings over here are like silvery and the fillings over here are like dark. Anyway, maybe too much information. It could be worse. So it started to hurt, and it was like really a poundy, achy thing. And so Thursday it hurt too. Friday morning, my child helped me make it was Thursday morning, my child helped me make a dental appointment. And so I haven't been to the dentist in 11 years. 3 dentists that I tried didn't take my insurance. And so, or weren't accepting new patients with my insurance. And so I'm going back to the place I went 11 years ago. I'm sure it's fine. It's a franchise, but whatever. It's a dentist, and they were nice enough to me last time. So Friday, pain's really bad. And like, I want to crawl out of my skin bad. I'm not on regular meds at this point. So Friday afternoon, I start taking 2 ibuprofen every 4 hours. And that keeps me on top of the pain. But then my face starts to swell up. So Saturday morning I wake up and I'm like, on one side of my mouth it was really bad. And I'm like, I think I'm going to go to urgent care and see if they'll give me an antibiotic or something, because all I can think of is there's an infection in my tooth, there's an abscess, and the infection is going to get into my bones, and the infection in my bones is going to travel to my head. I'm going to lose all the bone in my jaw, and I'm going to die because the infection will be in my brain. I realize this is slightly overreacting, but only slightly, because this shit does happen. So I went to urgent care. There was nobody there. This never happens. It was so perfect. I felt so amazing at being able to adult so well. I went down to urgent care. I saw a doctor right away. He took a glance. He said, yep, you've got an infection in there. I'll get you on antibiotics. This is actually good because you have a follow-up appointment. You've done most of the work for us, and your dentist probably won't do anything until the infection is gone down. So, getting a jump start on that is good. I was like, oh, great. Because I have a Tuesday morning dentist appointment. Maybe they won't do anything, but it'll be sooner that I can be seen. And maybe by then the swelling will go away and the pain will go away. So the doctor was like, take 3 ibuprofen every 6 hours. That doesn't keep me on top of the pain. So I'm taking 3 ibuprofen every 5 hours. That does keep me on top of the pain. And if I take at the 2.5 hour mark, I take an extra strength Tylenol, just 1. I'm good. I may be able to sleep laying down tonight, but then again, probably not, because that just makes me swell more. And I have to go to work tomorrow, and I have to look like this. And every time I think, oh, it's not so bad, then I go into the mirror and I see that my mouth is completely crooked from usual. And it's very obvious. So, all that said, that's what's going on with my face. I really had hoped it would be gone by now, but whatever. Money. So, this week, let's look at You Need a Budget, the program called YNAB. Actually, before I get into this, I am looking for a budgeting program or a financial program in general that is senior friendly. And the reason I'm looking is because the way a particular loved one in my life has kept track of their finances their entire life, their entire adult life, it feels like too much work, and they're having trouble keeping on top of things. And I want to help make it easier, but I don't want to change everything for them because, they've done things a certain way. I want it to be familiar, but up to date and not super frustrating. Unfortunately, this person is a little bit of a Luddite and does not do well with technology, but I am thinking either I use You Need a Budget, YNAB for short, and we replace a lot of the paper stuff with online stuff, or I switch them over to the Budget Mom, which is still writing things down, but it's pre-made. It is a little more concise. I'm trying to get them to stop writing down every single transaction, because it's exhausting. Writing down everything, printing everything, there's got to be a better way. So also, I need a good password manager that's senior friendly and preferably free, but we'll take what we can get. If anybody has any suggestions on those three things, drop them in the comments. I would love to hear it. Thank you so much. Anyway, okay, now on to the budgeting. I have $2,651.42 ready to assign, which is a little bit more than my paychecks because apparently I didn't assign $300 and some last month. Every time I went into YNAB, it was like, "Oi, you didn't schedule this last $300. You got $300 ready to assign," and I was like, "What? How's that?" No, unknown, completely unknown. Maybe it was because I realized that something I paid or something that was categorized one way needed to be categorized another way, which could contribute to the fact that I have 3 overspent categories this month. So let's look at those. First is groceries. This makes sense. As I said, my youngest has identified as being pre-diabetic, and so I am trying to get things for them to eat that are less junk foody, yeah, to put it bluntly. So I have been buying more protein shakes, more some protein oatmeal, tortillas that are net zero for carbs, where the net carbs are 0, or the carb balance ones, and getting some microwave meals because my child is incredibly picky, a picky eater. So all of that stuff adds up. Plus, for myself, I want to do that too, and they have cauliflower crust pizza, which is really good. Well, okay, it wasn't bad, but to be fair, the first time I tried to cook it, the boys, my eldest child and my husband, the boys made chicken patties at 425, and I needed the oven to be at 415 or something like that. And when they were done, I was in the middle of paying taxes because it happened to be on April 15th. And so I didn't get to the oven right away. And then I went and I put the food in the oven thinking the oven was still on, and it was not. So when the timer went off, I went and looked. It was not completely finished cooking. And so I turned the temperature back up and I just guessed about how long to finish it. So the first time I cooked it, the cauliflower crust pizza, it wasn't ideal. But I got another cheese one and I got a buffalo chicken one so that me and my youngest can enjoy the cauliflower crust pizza. Has less carbs. I know carbs aren't bad, carbs aren't evil, but we are trying to keep our carbs in check and keep our protein up and all of those things. So that's why groceries is $180 more. I went to the store this weekend and it was close to $300. That's not great. So I need to fix that. And that means adding $180.90 to zero it out. And I'll hit enter and it'll disappear. Bam. Taxes. I had to set up a new category because I need a category to pay for taxes to be done. And my youngest had taxes to do this year and ended up owing not a lot, but then with the cost of filing everything, almost $160 of taxes. So since my youngest is not employed, I pay for their taxes because that just seems fair. When they are employed again, they will be paying for their own taxes. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Because that seems like one of those basic things that they should be in charge of. So I have assigned $157.08 to that category. Bam, it disappears from my overspent things. Everything else. Children. Overspent $276.46 of $5.35. Why is this? Amazon, $169 at, oh, my husband bought my youngest a Kindle. That's what that $169.59 is. And that's why I had extra money to categorize, because that showed up as fast food and I took it out of fast food because it didn't belong there. And then I didn't assign it to the proper category. I bet that's what happened. Anyway, Amazon, my youngest got a permit. It's all good. So, I had thought that the iPad was coming out of my husband's account, but apparently not. So, $262.11. That will make it go away. Okay. Now that I have those overspent categories taken care of, because that's money I already spent, and so I don't really have it, I have $2,000.51 and $2,051.33 ready to assign. This paycheck that we just got, the 2 paychecks that we just got, because my partner and I get husband, it all is the same thing. I just don't know what to call him. We're separated. It's a thing. We both get paid on the same week. That's what I'm trying to say. This check will take us to the beginning of May. So I need to make sure that the mortgage is paid, and it says I need another $426.96. So $426.96. And now my mortgage is completely funded. I have this State Farm claims thing snoozed for reasons. We're going to hop, skip, and jump on down to groceries. It says $39.10 more is needed this month. However, if I'm spending $200 a week in groceries, that is not enough. So I am going to add $250, $450 to my grocery budget, so that if I spend, and I'll try to, like, hopefully I have enough stocked up of things like peanut butter and lunch meat and dinner foods, that my next grocery trip won't be so bad. Oh, but that takes me down to $1,174.37. Eek! Grocery gas. I have available $96.96, so I am just going to add another $100 and not another $200, and see if that takes me through. Fingers crossed. Fast food. I still have $29.02, so instead of adding another $100, I'm just going to add I want to just have $100 available. How would I? Oh, okay. So I'm going to add $70.98, and then I have $100 in fast food. for the next 2 weeks. Fingers crossed. We did have Domino's for dinner last night. I had their garden salad, which was surprisingly good, except it was a $7 salad and it was a prepackaged salad. Yeah, and then I had one slice of my husband's pizza. I wasn't super hungry yesterday. Oh, and completely unrelated, so we'll go on. Forgot to budget. I still have $36.40 in there, so I'm going to leave that be. The phone is fully spent. However, the phone comes out on May 1st. So let me hop forward to May, as I have done here, and add 225.27 so that when the 1st comes, my phone is paid. Same thing with Patreon. Let's add $1 so that when the 1st comes, Patreon is paid. Insurance isn't going to come out on the 5th, so I don't need to fully fund it. All right, $9.86. So let's take 135 divided by 2. We'll put $67.50 in there. That leaves me $709.62. All my big stuff is at the top, so let's hope this is good. And Netflix won't come out to the 8th, so let's hop back to April. Gym membership funded, $9 left. IRS. I'm done with that IRS payment. Ready to assign, baby. Ha 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 ha. Now let it edit the target, delete the target. Let this just exist here. But fingers crossed this is done. Let's hide it. Oh, I don't have to look at it anymore. How lovely. Okay, Disney Plus. That's this month. So plus 10.59 funded. 24th, electricity. I think my electric bill is less than $83.76, and that's what I have available. I could double check that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave that be. I think I have enough in there, but we're just going to let it for right now. Internet, $60.52 needed. Bam, I could pay that. Oil, $87.50 more needed. Bam. All right. Water, on track. Per capita tax, on track. Garbage on track. Amazon Prime on track. GoDaddy on track. Money funded. It came from my other account, I think. I'm going to need to double check on that. YNAB funded. Spent some. Bam. That's good. Dropbox funded. That's coming up the 23rd. AAA funded. I need to double check they have the right debit card. Oh, I just bit down over here. Canva on track. Gym annual on track. Okay. I'm going to need money for medical expenses. And since it... $801? Really? Well, that's weird. I'm going to put that $250 then in medical expenses and have that be funded for right now because okay, to move to savings, put that there. $51.01. All right. All my money is assigned. I put in forgot to budget for 2 weeks, $51.01. There's $87.41 available in there. I mean, I didn't meet my target, but okay. So the only thing is, if my electricity is more than what I think, except I think it's less than $83.76, if it's more than what I thought, then I'll need to take some from forgot to budget. And I have these things taken care of. I think I'm good. I think I'm good to go. So, hey, like I mentioned earlier, if you have any suggestions for a senior-friendly budgeting solution, financial solution, app, program, notebook, whatever, I'm considering YNAB and the Budget Mom. And I actually printed out some of the free Budget Mom worksheets just to get a feel if the book will really be helpful. And a senior-friendly password manager, because currently we're dealing with a method that everyone has used but needs to be retired for personal safety. Those suggestions in the comments would be amazing. And if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, I do a budgeting video every 2 weeks, because that's when I get paid. And that's what makes sense to me. So you come back every 2 weeks for this. There's other content, usually a cleaning video on the alternate weeks, although sometimes not, and the occasional Radiant Reboot videos on Wednesdays, where I go over my weight loss attempts and my healthy eating and my exercise. And holy heck, it's a lot of fun to record while I'm walking. So expect a lot more of those, although I'll try to condense them so you're not getting peppered with tons of those videos. Otherwise, I may have to. Would it make sense to start another channel just for walking videos? I mean, maybe. And then just keep Radiant Reboot health updates for Wednesday. We'll see what I have time for. Really. We'll see what I have time for. I hope you are having a fantastic day. If you're not having a fantastic day, I hope you're having a good day. If you're not having a good day, I hope tomorrow is better. I will see you next time. Hopefully, I will be baseball free. It feels like there's a baseball stuck in my cheek when I feel it. And hopefully that will all be taken care of. I have never looked forward to the dentist this much, and I am terrified of what the dentist does to your mouth with the pokey things in your teeth. Don't like what the dentist does. Don't like it at all. But I'm looking forward to this dentist visit. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.